Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be my update for Pan That Palette and Baby Pan That Palette. In this series this year, I have been working on 3 tiny little palettes. It's going slow, as you probably know. But the year is almost over. There are only 20 more days left in 2023. 21 days, excuse me. There are only 21 days left in 2023. And that means regardless of where I end up, it is going to be time to pick a new Pan That palette for next year because I only commit to using these palettes for 1 year at a time. Let's start with Pan That palette. I am doing the Kicking It Old School theme, which was a Pantastic Ladies collaboration theme for Pan That palette created by Dana and Jessica. And I've also been doing the Better Together theme, which was a suggestion that I had put out into the Pantastic Ladies group and it was not chosen. But a lot of people liked the idea so much that they decided to do that theme this year as well, which thank you. Thank you for doing this theme with me this year. I've had a lot of fun with it. And so I have chosen 2 4-pan palettes. One is all matte, one is all shimmer. And let's start with the all matte palette, which is my little Clinique quad right here. How do I say this? I haven't touched this at all since the last update. I haven't touched it even once. That is not how Pan That palette is supposed to go. If you don't know how Pan That palette's supposed to go, you're supposed to use your Pan That palette like first and foremost above any other eyeshadow throughout the entire year. I'm not good at following those kind of rules. I kind of do what I want, and as a result, I have not touched this at all in the past month. So it looks exactly the same as it did the last time I filmed one of these updates, which is like this. I did not see this coming, guys. This year has been quite a shocker for me all around. Just shockers left and right. I thought that I would be making a little bit more progress on this palette than I did. But this is where I am. And I didn't touch it at all this past month. Let's move on to the other quad in my Better Together duo. And that is this little 4-pan palette from Maybelline. And it was a drugstore quad. It was called Natural Shock. I will go ahead and throw up a picture of where I was at last month since I have used this quad a little bit. And this is where I am now. So, same story as almost every other update this month. I'm really only using these 2 shadows. I cannot believe I have not hit pan on this 3rd shade yet. I really thought that I would have had pan by now, and I do suspect that I'm very close. And I think if I compare where I was at from the last update, I've definitely expanded the pan on this shimmery white shade. That's because that's the 1 shade out of these 8 shades that I use every single day, and I use it as a brow bone highlight. I do love a shimmery brow bone highlight. I know it's not for everybody, but I love it. And I think I have definitely expanded the pan from last month, but I really haven't touched these 2 shades much at all either. So to be honest, in all the years that I've done Pan That palette, I mean, I've never had like a really amazing year for Pan That palette, but I think this might be the worst year for Pan That palette that I've ever had. And I started this year with the intention of being super focused and super dedicated, and that is not how this year ended up going. I was not focused or dedicated in any way, and I'm kind of shocked. Usually when I post these videos, I get a lot of comments saying, I don't know why you still do Pan That palette. You should probably do something besides Pan That palette. Maybe try this project. Maybe just shop your stash. I get a lot of those comments. The fact of the matter is, despite the fact that I kind of suck at Pan That palette, I still love doing it. And I probably will keep doing it for several more years. And I just am grateful for you guys to just come along for the ride because I really suck at this. And for those of you who are looking for panning motivation, I'm sorry. This wasn't where you could come to find it. But I do still love Pan That palette, even though I sucked really hard this year on Pan That palette. I mean, I'm sure I'll talk about it again in 21 days when I do the finale. But this was No bueno. All right, let's move on to my little baby pan that palette. That is this little Smashbox Duo. This was a sample that I believe came in an Ipsy bag several years ago. And I have been working on this little duo for several years now, sometimes with more dedication than other times. But let me show you a picture of where I was at with this last month. And here's where it is this month. So I have not yet finished the matte shade down here. It is still going strong. I'm wearing this duo today. I've been wearing this duo a lot. I do think it's possible that I might be able to get that matte shade finished off within the next 21 days. It is definitely getting thin. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try. I am focusing on this pretty consistently with a few exceptions. There's like 1 or 2 cheat days a week, but pretty much this is a quad with that white shade that I'm wearing every single day for my eye look. As far as the shimmery shade, it is getting nearly impossible for me to pick up any product with my finger in this shade, which is my preferred way of applying it. Again, that's the shade I have all over my lid today. I wear it a lot. And it's hard to see the pan because it looks like it's got like a coat of gold over it, but the pan in that gold shade is really huge. And again, I'm just having a hard time picking up any product with my finger. If you look at the size of my finger, even my ring finger with this pan, it like it's a little bit bigger than the pan. And then I like try to squish. When the pan was full of product, it was easier to pick up shadow, but now that it's so deep in there, my finger really isn't picking it up. So I wanted to post this update first, but I think possibly today I might be moving the remaining of product left in this pan into a more accessible compact. I'll probably repress it. I don't think I'll leave it loose, but we'll see if that makes a difference with how quickly I can get through that shade. I feel like I am at this point using more of the shimmer than I am of the matte, or the shimmer's going faster, but there's still a lot more product in the shimmer side than there is in the matte side. But regardless, it's just getting really hard to pick up product and it's kind of frustrating. I think I'd be a lot more motivated to finish this off if I repressed it into a pan that was a bit wider. Even if I repressed it into this pan, I think it would be easier, but I would prefer to move it into a different pan, and I'm sure I have one. This baby pan that palette continues beyond December 31st if I don't have this done by then. So I am committed to using this duo until it is completely gone. This is going to stay in rotation until it is completely finished. Whereas compared to these two quads, the project for these ends on December 31st and I'm going to pick a new palette. But this stays with me until it is completely gone. So I have been trying to focus in on this, trying to get it done because it's been in my project pan for a very, very long time. And I do think I have my next baby pan that palette picked out. Yeah, I think I have my next baby pan that palette picked out. So I'm motivated. I'm motivated and ready to finish this off and move it on out, but I still have a ways to go. So I think I will have some pictures posted here as well as on Instagram to show what this looks like after I repress it. But I wanted to show it to you one more time before I did go ahead and scrape out the product, because I do have a pretty good sized pan. I know it's hard to see, but that whole like, you know, oval there is, I think, pan. I'm pretty sure that's pan. It's just been covered by gold shadow. I don't know if you can see it, but it's getting there. So that's where my baby pan that palette is. even though I am coming really close to the end of the year and I may or may not have this done, even if I just finish that matte shadow, that would mean one less shadow in my inventory, one more point towards my low buy. So there's a lot of reasons why I really am highly motivated to finish off that matte shadow in that duo. So I'm gonna keep at it, as I always do. You guys know I'm just gonna keep doing what I can until I run out of time. I am, but this is not how I expected things to go at all. Honestly, with this white shade, I know they put a bigger pan over here, but I really thought that I could at least get through that shadow this year because I literally use it every single day. And even that shadow, with me using it every day, is only, I don't know, about halfway gone. So yeah, these little palettes really punked me this year. I did not see this coming, but that's where we're at. I almost always post my finale for Pan That Palette on December 31st. So that is the tentative plan, but with me getting this update up so late, we'll see. It might end up being a couple days late, but regardless, the finale for Pan That Palette, as well as my introduction for next year's Pan That Palette, should be coming right around the 1st of January. So look out for that if you're interested to see where I end up with these palettes and where I decide to start my 2024 with. I have not decided yet. I haven't even posted a palettes I plan to pan for next year video. Like usually I do a what will I pan and help me, or like it's not a plan to pan video, but I don't know what I call it. But almost every year I post a video talking about what palettes I'm considering for Pan That Palette. I haven't even done that yet. And I know a lot of you guys would like to see that. So I might try to get that up this week and just kind of give you guys an idea of what I've been thinking about. But yeah. Hopefully I can get it done. It's going to be a couple of busy weeks coming up, but I am trying to stay on top of my filming and my videos. So thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. That is going to be it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.